So here is Lee at the Ocala horse trials, and we are competing in the open intermediate division. So I'm working on coming down the center line, working on being nice and straight, coming in for our halt. We're almost square, and then off into the trot. He did that pretty good with one step into the trot. Now we come into this corner, prepare for shoulder in. She is getting a lot stronger and steadier through the contact. And then you do your 10-meter circle. And into our haunches in, which is probably one of his favorite things in lateral work. And he's creating a pretty nice outline. One thing I've been working on is getting him to reach out through his neck and open through the throat latch. So we go across the diagonal in our medium trot, which I can do rising or sitting, and I chose to do it rising just to kind of help him through his back. And then again, we do shoulder in to the right. This tends to be the weaker side for our shoulder in, but it's getting better. And then into our haunches in out of that 10-meter circle. Yeah, that pretty well. And another medium across the diagonal. And again, I chose to do it rising. It gets some tests where you are only allowed to do sitting, but this one I kind of took advantage of being allowed to do rising trot. And we come into the halt, and just a smidge short with our right hind. Almost got it to step up square. Into the back. He's pretty nice and obedient about that. And now into our walk work. And again, the biggest thing for him is I'm wanting him to take his nose and reach out more. He tends to like to curl, but he is taking the rein down and out. It's getting better and better. And you watch the walk step. The hind leg is overstepping the front. And we pick up into a medium walk and into the canter. It's getting better. He can tend to get a little weak and for the canter transitions up. And then we come right into a canter walk and into the transition up again. So I kind of found to really push him forward here. And he's doing much better not giving me the little trot steps. So I gave him a little pat there to tell him he was good. It's really been a work in progress to get that strength and strong. And then we go for a medium. M to P. Another short diagonal where we demonstrate the counter canter. And we're going to do a walk transition at M. He came up a little bit in that, but again, I was really pleased at how hard he was trying for me. Then another medium. H to V. Make sure I get him back. He tripped a little bit there. And then cross the diagonal for our final canter walk transition. There's lots of those in this test. They can tend to get tired by that one, but he did good. And now finishing up the test, we do a half 10-meter circle, and then a down transition to the trot, which is pretty nice and smooth, and into our final halt. I was very pleased. It's probably one of his best tests he's done with me, and we actually ended up leading the dressage, which was a big deal for him. So I was really, really pleased with the progress that we have been making. And now on to show jump. And when I go in for my show jump, I like to kind of take my time and let my horses walk around. And then once the buzzard starts, then we get on with it. So I had a plan to go to the first jump off the left lead. It's a little bit of a stronger lead. And I want to make sure I get my power and my balance created before I come to the first fence. He jumps the first one really nice. And now preparing for this inside line. He felt like he was jumping super well, very nice and straight. And I was able to use a point of turn here for this double. She jumps again very good. Coming around to this triple bar, there was a big gust of wind and it spooked him. And he kind of took me to the triple bar, and then that left him in a bit of a fluster still, even though I got him back. But mentally, he was still a little unfocused, and we took the rail, which was really unfortunate because he was jumping fantastic, but just got a little wind up behind him. So coming to this inside line here. Do an inside turn, and he's still a little bit, there are flag poles that don't have flags, but when the wind blows, it creates a sound. And so he just spooked a little bit on me, which was a little surprising to me. But coming to this last line, he does really well, kind of eats up this last 5 and jumps great. So overall, pretty happy. It's too bad we had the rail, which dropped us into second place. Now on to cross country, and I was able to have a first ride on Johnny, so I had a good idea of kind of how I wanted the course to go with Lee, which is very helpful when you have multiple horses running. So he was actually really good there, got kind of the flyer to that. He was a little hesitant, but on the first couple of fences, you're working on getting a rhythm. And I'm coming to just a roll top here. And now coming to the table-to-table combination, which I did in 6 with Johnny, which was a little tight. So I had an idea with Lee to kind of do the inside turn to see if I could get it in the 5. So I get a good shot in. 2, 3, 4, 5. And he did that great. And now heading to the water, which again we have a mound fence, so I want to get him in balance, kind of keep my leg. He did that really well. And then press out over the second mound. And he was super. And then we land and we gallop to the steeplechase type fence, which is nice, just gallop fence. And now just finding the nice distance right out of the canter stride really helps saving time. Now coming to this coffin combination is actually super good through there. With something that vertical, you want to make sure your horses have a good shape over it. And now coming to this ditch and log type tricaner fence. And he's doing much better about kind of letting us work together and him not necessarily try to take over when we get to a fence. Coming to this table, I'm going to ride to the left side. And again, I had the plan from Johnny where I had done the 6, and I thought about doing 7 with Lee, but I thought, nah, let's give the 6 a go. He actually got there pretty early and just ate up the strides. And then this inside line here to this chicaner, which again, they just step over. And then I just let him cruise. Really wasn't focused on making time, but I wanted to be a little close to it. So just letting him canter on, not really pressing. Heading to our next combination, which was a 2 cabins on an angled line. So I want to make sure I have his balance back. And he holds his line really great. And now I'm going to cut some distance off by heading kind of straight to that table and riding to the left side of the flags. And got a really good shot to that. And then we head up to this bank combination. So again, I'm just letting him kind of coast, and then I'm going to kind of rebalance him, but he does a good job here. So I'm able to get that nice and in stride. Want to make sure I have the proper balance for up the hill. And again, he makes that pretty simple. Then we head to a big double oxer. And I can just let him kind of cruise. A little correction there with the balance. Did the inside line kind of hugging the tree line here, because we just had to do a right-handed turn to a drop in the water. And he was pretty good here because there's a little bit of a gappy distance, and he opted to kind of put another one in, but he's such a clever horse that I just kind of stay back behind him, leave him alone, and he jumped in the water great. Now we're heading to the combination of corners, 4 corners in a row. So we have the 3 stride here. And then we turn left with the bending 6. I did that fairly easy. And then to the 4. Super easy for him. I'm heading now to just a hay table. And I'm able to catch that right in stride. And heading to the end of the course, which is just 2 more fences to go. Let him kind of canter on to the last fence. Was really pleased with this round, as we are been building our relationship this year and starting to feel really confident with him. Like we're working together as a really good team. So really excited about Lee, and we finished up 2nd place.